Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Random Vlogging. So yesterday was kind of a weird day for me. Recorded my random vlogging really late because I have a D&D game that I play or that I run on Wednesdays. I am the Dungeon Master. I have a lot of fun doing it. And so I recorded kind of everything that was going on, and I was exhausted, and I mentioned everything I'd been doing, and I mentioned that yet again I'm having money troubles, and I would call it an interesting response. Most other people would call it a human response, but really awesome person commented on the video. His name's Auha, the Mandalorian is his handle on Twitch, and I met him through DK from Declarations. He does Twitch streaming, and so we're both fans, and so we met each other, and he's got a new web series type thing that he's doing voiceover work for. He's a really cool guy. So he commented, "Hey, put a button on your Twitch page, and I'd be happy to donate to help support you." And to a normal human being, that would be, oh, cool, great. That would be awesome. I'm really happy that you'd be willing to do that. But in my kind of really screwed up mind, my initial response was quite literally, why? And I think a lot of it has to do with stuff that I talked about before that I'm not going to get like too heavy into or anything like that. But I've mentioned before that I have really large I don't have a very good opinion of myself, and I've been dealing with this for years, and I'm getting much better at it to where I really like who I am, and I think I'm a good person, and I think I do good things, and that I'm a valuable person. But one of the things that I've been struggling with for years, and I still struggle with to this day, is the idea that anything I do can actually have a value attached to it. It's caused me issues in my professional life because I would accept whatever pay they would give me because I didn't think that my work had any value to it, and so anything that they gave me was more than my work was worth. And it also made it very difficult for me to do things like when I was a private computer consultant. I had a hard time charging people for my services because, again, I didn't think what I did had any value. And so when Auha, that's really hard to say, by the way, said, "Hey, I'd be willing to donate," it kind of threw me for a loop because I still, in the back of my head, have this idea that nothing I do, especially on YouTube, because I'm still very new at it and I'm still learning, has any value. Like I can't really attribute any value to it. In the back of my head. Now I can sit down and I can actually factor out, this is the average that a producer makes. This is the average that, a writer makes. And I can actually factor out and tell you exactly what value my work has for my own involvement level. Like it's not that I 100% couldn't figure out that if someone asked to pay me for something, I couldn't give them a number. I can. That's not that difficult. But intrinsically, like inside me and my own thought process, it still kind of throws me for a loop when people think that the things that I do have value. And it's been something that I've been working really, really hard to get past since I started doing this whole YouTube thing. So I mentioned in a couple different posts that putting a donate button on my Twitch account I can't do just yet due to legal reasons with the software that I use and how PayPal and a bunch of other services work. I don't have the necessary business qualifications to put a button on my page right now. From my very basic understanding, I might be 100% wrong, but I'm not going to play in that route. One thing I have been doing for a really long time now is, if you guys aren't familiar with the site Patreon, it's this really cool site where people that want to support artists can do that by becoming their patron. The patron the patron system was something that was used significantly back in, oh, I'm probably going to get these dates completely wrong. But anywhere from like the 12 to 1600s was a big period for it. Anytime you think of like classical music, like Mozart, Brahms, Mendelssohn, a lot of those people made their livings by having a patron, which was just a really rich person that would pay them to make whatever it is that they made, specifically for them, but in just more in general. Yeah, it worked very well for the arts. We got some amazing things out of it. But that system has kind of died out now with the idea of capitalism and all that stuff. So what Patreon is a way to kind of bring a type of that system back, where regular everyday people can say, I want to support this person doing something that I think is amazing. And you can sign up to support them monthly with donations, basically. I think the lowest amount you can donate is $1. Different pages do it differently. Some people do it per content. Like if you guys have ever seen, well, I know Nika Harper has a really successful Patreon page where for every, I think it's 2 short stories or something else, that's what people donate for. It's like, I will give you $1 for every 2 short stories that you publish. And that's really cool. People like me, where we're creating content regularly, like a lot, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us to do it per content item, because even something as simple as $1, which doesn't seem like a whole lot, on average, I will make anywhere from about 20 to 25 videos a month. So if someone donates $1 per video that I make, that's, you know, a minimum of 20 to 25 a month, which some people really don't want to donate that much to someone crazy like me. So what I've set up my page for, and Kiri Callaghan has a fantastic example of doing it right, is they have a monthly option too, where you just say, you know, I will give, my page is set up so you can donate monthly. You start with $1 monthly and go from there on. And it gets more complicated. I'm not going to go into a ton of it because this video is already really long. But I've been building my Patreon page for quite a few months. Back in Daily December is when I first started it, and I mentioned it to you guys then, and it was really, to be honest, it was really poorly done. And I've been slowly improving it. I'm working on getting a video that people can watch when they come to my Patreon page. But I haven't been advertising it because I didn't feel that what I was creating was worth money yet. And I didn't think that the page was ready yet. It's still not finished. But Auha has, I guess, kind of inspired me that I'm going to let you guys decide if you think what I do has value, and if you'd like to help support me do stuff like that. And that's everything from random vlogging to D&D High and Training Day, even my streaming stuff. All of that stuff has costs involved in it. Probably the most expensive thing that I do is D&D High, because it requires a lot. I use a 2-camera setup. I have professional lighting that you guys can see that I got for my birthday. It requires 5 people to rearrange their schedules and all come together. And so far, none of us take any money from it. And I also have other things, like I try and provide food and beverages and stuff like that, and incidental stuff, and the power to run all this stuff is really expensive. So yeah, all that stuff costs money, and right now it's just coming out of my pocket, which isn't all that useful due to the fact that I don't have an income. So yeah, today I'm going to put a link in the doobly-doo, so you guys can check out my Patreon page. If you want to start supporting me, I welcome it. As soon as I get my first patron, I'm going to start doing a random vlog type thing, probably on Mondays, where I talk about all the stuff. If you guys have ever seen me talk and mention, oh, well, I can't really talk about this, I do that simply because if something falls through, I don't want the greater internet to come up with rumors as to why it happened. A lot of times it's just, you know, I've had probably 3 or 4 collabs that I've tried to do that haven't worked simply because either the project was a little bit grandiose or we didn't have the time, and I don't want it getting back to these other people that my 42 fans are like, well, why didn't you do the collab with Jody and all that stuff, or you know, create a situation where you guys are expecting something really awesome and I have to say, sorry, that's not it. So that's generally why I do it, or I want to surprise something. The Monday vlog, that will only be for subscribers. You won't be able to actually see it unless you are a subscriber, or a Patreon, I mean. One of my patrons. Will be me talking about the stuff that I can't talk about normally. New project ideas, the stuff I've been doing behind the scenes, all the stuff that I normally won't mention on this. My patrons will be able to see that stuff. And it'll be prefaced by the way, this may or may not happen, but these are the cool things that I'm doing. Just so you guys can get a little bit of an inside look into how much work and all the stuff that I do to get this channel going. And to give people an incentive to become my patron. So yeah, check out the page if you wanna become a patron. I will love you for it. It's very, very cool. Yeah, all the details are on patreon.com. And if you don't want to check out the page, tell me what you think of the page. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Are there things that you guys think I should add? Are there things that you guys think that are just stupid and I should take away? You know, leave all that information in the comments below as well. So this went kind of long, but I think it's a cool topic, and I hope you guys will check out my Patreon page. And it'd be great if some people thought highly enough of what I do that they think that it has a monetary value and they would like to help support it. So yeah, that's all for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow for some Friday Feature Focus, which will actually get filmed this week. All right, bye-bye.